Chapter 1: The Hidden Door. In the heart of the bustling city of Meadowbrook, nestled between tall apartment buildings and busy streets, there was a small, neglected alley that few people noticed. 13-year-old Emma, with her curly auburn hair and keen brown eyes, had always been curious about the world around her. She loved exploring new places and discovering hidden treasures. One sunny afternoon, as she was walking home from school, Emma decided to take a shortcut through the alley. As she made her way down the narrow passage, she noticed a small, weathered wooden door partially hidden behind a pile of old crates. Intrigued, she pushed the crates aside and examined the door more closely. The door was covered in ivy and moss, and it looked as though it hadn't been opened in years. Emma's heart raced with excitement as she tried the handle, but it was locked. Determined to find out what lay behind the door, she decided to return the next day with a plan. Chapter 2: The Key. The next morning, Emma rummaged through her grandmother's old trunk in the attic, searching for anything that might help her unlock the door. Her grandmother had been an avid collector of antiques and curiosities, and Emma was sure she would find something useful. After searching for a while, she found an old, ornate key with intricate designs etched into the metal. It looked like it might fit the lock on the mysterious door. Excitedly, she slipped the key into her pocket and headed back to the alley. When she reached the hidden door, she took a deep breath and inserted the key into the lock. With a satisfying click, the door creaked open, revealing a narrow, winding staircase that led down into the darkness. Chapter 3: The Secret Garden. Emma carefully descended the staircase, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she reached the bottom, she found herself in a small underground tunnel. She followed the tunnel, which eventually opened up into a breathtaking hidden garden. The garden was like something out of a fairy tale. It was filled with vibrant flowers, lush greenery, and towering trees that seemed to touch the sky. A small, crystal-clear stream wound its way through the garden, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Emma was in awe. She couldn't believe she had discovered such a magical place hidden right in the middle of the city. She wandered through the garden, marveling at the beauty and tranquility of her surroundings. As she explored, she noticed a small, weathered bench under a large oak tree. On the bench lay an old, leather-bound journal. Emma picked it up and began to read. Chapter 4: The Journal. The journal belonged to a woman named Isabella, who had lived in Meadowbrook many years ago. Isabella had discovered the secret garden and had taken it upon herself to care for it, documenting her experiences and the wonders of the garden in her journal. May 15, 1923, today, I discovered the most enchanting place. A hidden garden, filled with beauty and magic. I have decided to make it my mission to preserve and protect this secret haven. Emma read on, learning about Isabella's adventures and the many plants and creatures she had encountered in the garden. The journal was filled with detailed sketches and descriptions, revealing the rich history of the hidden sanctuary. June 5, 1925, the garden continues to thrive, but I fear it may one day be forgotten. I hope that someone else will find it and continue to care for it as I have. As Emma finished reading the journal, she felt a deep sense of responsibility. She knew she had to continue Isabella's work and ensure that the garden remained a hidden paradise for future generations to discover. Chapter 5: A New Caretaker. Determined to take on the role of the garden's caretaker, Emma visited the hidden garden every day after school. She brought gardening tools, seeds, and supplies to help maintain and nurture the plants. She spent hours weeding, planting, and tending to the flowers, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment and connection to the garden. As she worked, she noticed that the garden seemed to respond to her care. The flowers bloomed more vibrantly, and the trees appeared healthier and stronger. Emma felt as though the garden was alive and grateful for her efforts. One afternoon, while she was planting new flowers near the stream, she heard a rustling in the bushes. Curious, she approached cautiously and was surprised to find a small, injured bird struggling to fly. Emma gently picked up the bird and examined it, realizing it had a hurt wing. "I'll take care of you," she whispered softly, cradling the bird in her hands. She created a small, comfortable nest for the bird in the garden and tended to its injury, hoping it would recover soon. Emma named the bird Chirpy and visited it every day, bringing food and water and talking to it as she worked in the garden. Chapter 6: The Mysterious Visitor. One evening, as Emma was preparing to leave the garden, she heard footsteps approaching from the tunnel. Startled, she hid behind a tree and watched as a tall, elderly man with a kind face and twinkling blue eyes emerged from the tunnel. The man looked around the garden with a sense of wonder and nostalgia. He walked over to the bench under the oak tree and sat down, gazing at the flowers and the stream. Emma hesitated for a moment, then stepped out from her hiding place. "Hello," she said softly. The man turned and smiled warmly. "Hello there. I didn't expect to find anyone else here." "I'm Emma," she said, approaching him cautiously. "I've been taking care of the garden." "Who are you?" "My name is Mr. Thompson," the man replied. "I used to come here when I was a boy. Isabella was my aunt. She showed me this garden and taught me how to care for it." Emma's eyes widened in surprise. "You knew Isabella? That's amazing. I've been reading her journal and following in her footsteps." Mr. Thompson nodded, his eyes shining with pride. Isabella would be so happy to know that someone has continued her work. This garden meant everything to her. They spent the next hour talking about the garden and sharing stories. Mr. Thompson told Emma about his adventures with Isabella and the many wonders they had discovered in the garden. Chapter 7: The Garden's Magic. As Emma and Mr. Thompson continued to care for the garden together, they began to notice something extraordinary. The garden seemed to possess a magical quality that responded to their love and attention. The flowers bloomed in vibrant, otherworldly colors, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets in the breeze. One day, while they were planting new seeds near the stream, Mr. Thompson revealed a hidden compartment in the oak tree. Inside, there was a small, ornate box. He opened it to reveal a collection of beautiful, glowing stones. "These are enchanted stones," Mr. Thompson explained. "Isabella and I found them years ago. They hold the magic of the garden and help it thrive." Emma was fascinated. She carefully placed the stones around the garden, feeling their warmth and energy radiating through her fingertips. As she did, the garden seemed to come alive with an even greater sense of magic and wonder. Chapter 8: The Garden Festival. Inspired by the garden's magic, Emma and Mr. Thompson decided to host a secret garden festival to share the beauty and wonder of the hidden sanctuary with their closest friends and family. They sent out invitations, carefully selecting a few trusted individuals who they knew would appreciate and respect the garden's secrets. On the day of the festival, the garden was transformed into a magical wonderland. Lanterns hung from the trees, casting a soft, golden glow over the flowers and stream. Tables were set with delicious treats and drinks, and a small stage was set up for music and storytelling. As the guests arrived, they were awestruck by the beauty and enchantment of the garden. Emma and Mr. Thompson led them on a tour, sharing the history and magic of the hidden sanctuary. That evening, as the sun set and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, they gathered around the stage for a special performance. Emma and Mr. Thompson took turns reading excerpts from Isabella's journal, sharing her words and wisdom with the captivated audience. The festival was a resounding success, and everyone left with a sense of wonder and appreciation for the hidden garden. Emma felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment, knowing that she had continued Isabella's legacy and shared the magic of the garden with others. Chapter 9: A New Generation. As the years passed, Emma continued to care for the garden with Mr. Thompson's guidance. She grew into a talented and knowledgeable gardener, dedicated to preserving the beauty and magic of the hidden sanctuary. One summer, she met a young girl named Lily who shared her love for nature and exploration. Lily had long brown hair and bright green eyes, just like Emma when she was younger. She reminded Emma of herself, and she saw the same curiosity and wonder in Lily's eyes. Emma decided to share the secret of the hidden garden with Lily, just as Mr. Thompson and Isabella had shared it with her. She took Lily to the garden and introduced her to its wonders, teaching her how to care for the plants and appreciate the magic of the sanctuary. Lily was enchanted by the garden and eagerly took on the role of its caretaker. Together, they continued to nurture the garden, discovering new secrets and ensuring that its magic would be preserved for future generations. Chapter 10: The Legacy Continues. The hidden garden became a cherished part of Meadowbrook's history, known only to a select few who were entrusted with its secrets. Emma and Lily continued to care for the garden, passing on their knowledge and love for the sanctuary to new generations. The garden's magic thrived, thanks to the dedication and care of its guardians. It remained a place of beauty, wonder, and tranquility, a hidden haven in the midst of the bustling city. Emma often thought of Isabella and Mr. Thompson, grateful for the legacy they had left behind. She knew that the true magic of the garden lay not just in its beauty, but in the connections and memories it created for those who cared for it. And so, the story of the secret garden continued, a testament to the power of nature, love, and the enduring magic of hidden treasures. The garden's legacy lived on through the generations, a reminder that some of the most precious things in life are those that are hidden, waiting to be discovered by those with the curiosity and heart to find them. As Emma and Lily stood together in the garden, watching the sun set over the vibrant flowers and listening to the gentle rustle of the leaves, they knew that they were part of something truly special. The secret garden was more than just a place, it was a living, breathing testament to the magic and wonder of the world around them. And with that, they continued to care for the garden, knowing that its magic would never fade as long as there were those who believed in its beauty and cherished its secrets.